Social media is supposed to be an extension of ourselves, a place for us to connect, and a place for us to be authentically ourselves. But instead, what has it become? What's up, y'all? It's your girl Terry, and we are back with another video. On this channel, we create content on how to design our dream lives and live a life on our own terms. Today's topic, we're going to be discussing how to stop using social media to escape your reality. Instead of social media being a place for us to show up authentically ourselves, instead we are even more pressured by the virtual world to show up. We're even more pressured by a virtual world to make a lot of money. We're even more pressured by the virtual world to start a family. We're even more pressured to get married. We're even more pressured to lose weight. We're even more pressured to start a business. We're even more pressured to travel the world in a place that should be a place for us to connect with people, should be a place for us to show up authentically ourselves, and should be a place where it is an extension of our real lives. We are more pressured. So instead of us, back in the day, you remember how it was, right? Back in the day, prior to social media, you only had to prepare for these uncomfortable conversations only twice a year, right? During the holidays, somebody's gonna ask you, so what do you have going on? What type of job you have? When you gonna start a family? When you gonna get married? When was the last time you traveled? Was it out of the country? All of these conversations that push your mind or put you in a state of feeling like, one, like you're not doing as good as somebody else. It puts you immediately, you tense up, you feel your mouth water, you know, you take a good gulp, you start stuttering, because it's like, how do you want me to answer the question? Like, am I answering the questions truthfully, or am I answering the questions to make myself appear better, that, you know, we feel like we're on the same equal level playing field? We only used to have to go through that agony for twice a year, right? So we would have opportunity, we would have time to prepare for those type of conversations. But now, every single day we feel this pressure. We put an internal spotlight on ourselves. Somebody else isn't even individually asking all these things, but because we're consuming all this additional content from all these various people, our minds, we're physically, internally asking ourselves, so when am I going to make a lot of money? When am I going to find my person? When am I going to start a family? I saw such and such just recently bought a house. I want a house. I saw such and such just got back from being out of the country. I want to go out of the country. I saw somebody else doing something. It literally puts us in a place where we feel like we aren't doing enough, or we feel like everybody else is doing so much better than what we are. And I know me personally, before I became more comfortable in being authentically myself, before I became more comfortable in not comparing my life to what somebody else's looked like, comparing what I had to what somebody else may have been posting about, I was the one that I would be on social media, right? Hours at a time. My social media platforms I would stay on were either Instagram or Facebook. Hours at a time, I mean, I'm just scrolling. But I'll tell you, after closing those apps, I would either feel one or two ways. I would feel like, one, I wasn't good enough, or my life wasn't like somebody else's, or I would just have this stuck feeling. Like I would just feel like it's stuck. Like I'm not doing nothing. Like I'm not having brunch pictures. I'm not partying every weekend. I'm not taking the vacations. I haven't bought a house, haven't had a baby, haven't got engaged. All these things that, you know, you constantly consume with friends, relatives, people in entertainment, all these things that are going on. Then you start looking at your life like, dang, I don't have anything going on. Like, what's wrong with me? And that was really getting to me. And I'm making this video because the tips that we're going to discuss helped me. It helped me literally change that mindset from where I was to where I am today, and being able to show up on social media and being able to scroll without feeling that pressure, right? That pressure that you individually put on your lives. that's no longer for me. And if I'm able to help, if I'm able to tell you what helped me and then it can help you, then that's what I'm here for, right? So let's get into it. So I do have a few notes here, just to kind of keep me on track so I don't miss anything. So how can we stop using social media as a way to escape reality and for us to live our lives on our own terms? The very first thing that we need to do is we need to make sure we are creating more than we are consuming. Creating more than we are consuming. So have you ever noticed that the more you are, let's just be honest, the more you are in other people's business, the more you are keeping up with other people, and the more you know what everyone else has going on, the more you're consuming that, the worse you feel, right? So I've noticed the more I create, the more you show up, right? The more you post about, before, you know, thinking that whatever you had going on wasn't worthy to be posted, but, you know, posting, right? Posting about yourself, like what you feel like you have going on, making sure you are creating more than you're consuming. It's all in really changing your habits. It's changing your mental, it's changing your mindset and how you look at it and how you actually interact with social media. That's the first one. The second one is you want to know your triggers. If you're following accounts that you know for a fact, every time you see this person or every time they post a picture or this and that, you see flashy, you see all this money that big influencers may be having, you see designer clothes, you see rings, you see fine dining, you see trips on yachts and all these exotic type vacations. If you look at these pictures, videos, whatever, and it makes you feel bad about your life, or it makes it feel like it's unattainable for you, then you need to unfollow these type people until you're in a space where you can look, but it doesn't alter your feelings, right? And you have to be honest about that. You're probably looking like, oh, that doesn't bother me. And that's what I thought as well. But I knew my triggers. Eventually I said, you know what? Seeing this like makes me compare my life to them. It makes me feel like I'm not doing enough. It makes me feel like it'll never happen for me. Then I need to remove this, right? I need to remove this so then I can pour that energy that I was pouring and focusing on what other people had going on into what I wanted to do, into what I can do and how I can show up and what my dreams are and what my contribution is, right? So know your triggers. If you have to remove those accounts, if you have to unfollow some people, it's okay until you get in a place where you have enough self-love, you have enough self-authenticity, you have enough self-worth, right? You have enough discipline to know that their life, their lane is their life, their lane. Your life, your lane can be completely something different, but being appreciative and grateful for what you have going on. So third, I found very helpful as well, is find a new hobby. If you feel like you don't even have anything worth posting, find a new hobby. Doing something new boosts your creativity, and doing something new does something miraculous with your mental as well. It allows you to turn that back on yourself, right? Then now you're putting new energy in trying to learn and figure out this new thing you had going on. For me, I found out that I enjoy cooking. Like that is a hobby that I enjoy. And sometimes I record cooking videos of TikTok recipes that I found. And I really enjoy doing that. So whether it be cooking, whether it be trying a new workout class, whether it be swimming, whether it be learning how to sew, whether it be fashion, trying on clothes, whether anything that you think you have some sort of interest in and you think it'll be a hobby for you, try it out, right? Try it out and start posting about it. Like document your journey about it. And it makes you feel like, you know, you have your thing. Everyone wants to feel like they are contributing. Everyone wants to feel like they are living out their true selves and want to feel like they're contributing. But the more you consume what everyone else has going on, the more that makes you feel like you don't have something going on, right? So make sure you have something going on. Try a new hobby. And if you're looking at this and you're like, Terry, I really have no desire to create. I have no desire to show up online. I have no desire to post content. And that's absolutely fine. But then I would encourage you to limit your overall consumption of social media. to limit your overall consumption of social media, because if you aren't creating and you're constantly consuming what somebody else has going on, comparison has a way to creep in. I'm here to tell you, comparison has a way to creep in. So if you don't want to show up, make sure you're limiting your social media. And I would argue that you can even consider not even being on it altogether. That's just my take on it. But yeah, so those are the 3 things that actually have helped me. Making sure you are creating more than you're consuming. 2, making sure you know your triggers. 3, find a new hobby that you can document yourself, and then show up as you, as authentically you. I personally enjoy YouTube. Been on YouTube for a year and a half now. I absolutely enjoy YouTube. I feel like YouTube is still a way to organically grow a following and don't feel like you have to be that it person anymore. Like, you can literally show, like I'm recording in the car, like you can show up and just record yourself in a car. I genuinely enjoy YouTube because the growth, like the community you build, they really connect with you for who you are, like at the core. They connect with you for who you are at the core. So with that being said, I appreciate you if you made it this far in the video. I appreciate you for sticking around. Consider subscribing to the channel. Also, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Drop a comment. Let me know that you enjoyed it. Let me know additional content that you would like to see. And once you hit that subscribe button, you will join the Terry Show. We are catching a major vibe, y'all, because we're coming back with another video. Let's go.